Hello, and welcome to the Cosmic Healing Podcast. This is Vaughn, and I've got Dana, and we are looking at June. Hello, June of 2025. What is up? Welcome, Dana.
Hi, Vaughn. Thanks for having me back. I'm happy to be with you this month. I don't mind recording on my own. Last month was fun, but it's always just better when we're together.
Oh,
So I'm
I
happy
totally
to
agree.
be
I know. I was listening, and I was like, I was interjecting my opinion and my contribution. I was like,
You're like, I'm here. I hear you.
It was so good and very on point as
Mm.
always. And I mean, this year, wow. I was just telling my husband, I was like, well, I'm gonna go record the June episode. Like, what the heck?
Where's the year going, honestly? We're almost halfway through the year. It's like crazy.
Yeah, and I really feel like 2025 is really doing what I feel like we needed it to do, like with so many, every
Mhm.
class, every session that I work with people, I'm like, don't forget, it's 2025. It is a 9 year. We are wrapping shit up. Okay. Like things are coming up. They are being bubbling up to the surface for us to let it go. And I mean, it's an invitation, it's an opportunity, and it's like it moves so fast. I mean, I would have things come up for me personally, and I'm just like, I see it, I'll be with it, I'll work with it, and then I'll release it. And it's just like boop, 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 it's gone. I'm like, wow, this is so fast. Like we are really truly like evolving so quickly as a human species right now. Like
Mhm.
so much is shifting. I'm going to talk about this in another podcast because I don't want to take up the space today, but energetically and like I've been talking about our body changing a lot, over the past year, like our digestive system, like things are changing in our body. And in my one-on-one sessions, like some information has been coming through
Mm.
with people, that I'm learning and I'm experiencing, and I'm like, oh wow, like things literally are changing. Like our light body, our bodies beyond that are just transcending and evolving. And I will talk about it soon but because I'm still in the phases of learning, but I'm just going to plant this word right here, plasma.
Mm.
So this is the latest thing that I'm learning and working with, and it's next level stuff.
Wow.
So,
Interesting. That is so cool.
yep. So I'm just planting it here, and then we'll keep exploring because like I said, I'm just learning about this frequency, but it's potent and powerful, and it is the next evolution of us. So.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, I can't wait to hear more about that whenever you decide to share.
I know, me too, because I'm still just like absorbing all of this information
Yeah.
and learning. But it's super. So when I say things are changing, literally our bodies are changing. Um, it's things are happening so much without us even realizing it.
Yeah.
And I can see it so clearly now, like, oh, well, that's what was happening to me and how I was able to transmute and move through that so quickly. And so it's amazing. It's an exciting time to be alive and to be doing, to be conscious of and self-aware of ourselves and what is happening within us and around us, and allowing ourselves to change and shift our mindset and our thoughts and our beliefs and heal. And it's so fun. It's so fun.
It is. I'm definitely feeling that too. I'm definitely feeling like a release and a letting go of things and with that comes like something different and changing and feeling excited of like, ooh, I'm changing, I'm shifting, I'm like ready for this next thing too. So yeah, I totally see that theme everywhere in the people I'm working with and with myself. And we're ready to let go of some stuff, Like these things have been holding us back. And I think we're realizing like the weight of that.
Yeah,
What I'm seeing,
absolutely. Yeah.
like, is the weight of
Yeah,
carrying this worth it? No, it's not. Really
right.
not.
Yeah, it's just it's I think I'm just in such a place right now of like pure giddiness of it's like, I talk about this all the time, like, right? Like we burn the shit down, and then when we burn who we are and everything that we know down to the ground, and then we rise up like the phoenix, and we only bring back with us the things that we want to carry with us, that we want to fly with. And again, we will burn and rise so many times over our lifetime. But right now, I feel like 2023 and 2024, I was burning some serious shit down. Like everything that I thought I was or believed I was, layers and layers and layers just were burning, 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 burning down. And now I just feel like I am rising like the phoenix, and it just feels so, I feel so empowered within myself and within my heart and with who am becoming and who I am, period. And it just feels so good. And as I'm doing that, I'm like, I'm just in complete awe because I'm like, this is really how it works. Like, I'm doing the work and then I'm seeing the benefits of that work. And it just keeps getting better and better. And I'm like this literally is the way.
Hmm. It
And then
is.
it's just like you literally don't get it until you get it. And then once you get it, you don't unget it. Like you never go backwards from this being. You only keep moving forward and expanding. And I don't know. I'm just like in such awe of our soul journey, truly. Like it's so beautiful. Even just the most painful parts, it's so beautiful.
Mhm.
And allowing ourselves to see that, to really see the beauty even in the painful, brutal moments.
Mhm.
That's it. I mean, we have to be able to have that capacity because like I always say, the shit and the pain will always be there. But how we navigate through it is is the soul journey.
Yep, that's where the growth is. We
Yeah.
don't grow in a place of happiness and light all
Right.
the time.
Yeah.
Really, you just don't. You don't.
Yeah.
That is where the shifts happen. That's where the motivation to change happens. That's where the growth edge lives. So the less scared that we are of walking into the dark and scary stuff or experiencing the hardships, the quicker we'll grow and evolve, honestly.
Yeah. And so many people are ready. I know I just hosted a class this a week ago, signed up for my monthly class, and there were almost 20 women here. And each woman travels, you know, up to 2 hours to come, to be in community with other women where we're going into the depths, right? And I'm just like, oh, it just makes me so happy that we are doing this together and that women just keep showing up for themselves. And I know it's scary. I know it's scary to show up, especially to a class that, maybe you don't know anyone else or you've been wanting to come for a while or, go to the things, whether it's my class or any class, anything. I know it's can be scary to do new things, but I mean, if we can just keep saying yes to those little scary things, it's so rewarding. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I feel that too. I hosted my first retreat in May, and it was a lot for everyone to come to buy plane tickets. We went to Sedona, and so everyone that came was from a different state. So we all had to, make lots of big arrangements to drive, to fly, to get to the airport, to all the things. And even once we got to Sedona, or to Arizona, the northbound route from Phoenix to Sedona was closed. So we had to take this like 4 hour, like way
Oh.
out of the way route, but it ended up, we got to see beautiful landscape and things we wouldn't have seen otherwise. And it was like, there were just so many moments throughout of like surrendering to the process of like, this is looking different than we thought it was going to look, but look at the majesty and the beauty. Like, we were going hiking one morning, we took the wrong road, and we ended up coming upon this field of hot air balloons that were launching. like right in front of our eyes that we wouldn't have seen if we had gone the correct quote unquote route. You know, just
Right.
like
Oh,
allowing this magic of like the things that feel like a detour that you could easily be frustrated by. They're like, why is this how, you know, da, 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 da." But if you just like look for the gift and the beauty of it, like there's so much magic there. And that was just so special. And I am just like, no one can convince me that women coming together in groups to be in sacred space and witnessing one another isn't going to change the world. This is how we literally change the world. And it's literally just by showing up. It's not even by pushing or doing or anything. It's literally just being together. It
yeah.
doesn't even matter what you do, honestly. Like,
Mm-mm.
you know, and that's the thing. I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, like as healers or as light workers or whatever, to make certain things happen. But it's just in sharing and in being in one another's presence and being together. Like, literally, anyone can
Yeah.
make this change, right? Like, yes,
Yeah.
the deep transformative work is
Right.
obviously
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
incredible too.
Yeah.
But like,
Absolutely.
this is how we change the world is by coming together.
Yeah.
I
And
just,
coming together with an intention
intentionality.
to
Yeah.
be vulnerable with each other, to have deeper conversations. Um, and that's the key, right? Because I've been gathering with women my entire life, but we weren't having conversations like I'm having
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to be able to surround yourself with women where you can have these deeper conversations and you can bear your
Your soul. This is
your
soul aligned
soul
work.
and
Like,
your
yeah.
fears and your emotions. Yeah, like one of my classes, like one of the girls, she broke down and she was just like, I am holding so much emotion. It's like
Mm.
it was stuff that she wasn't even speaking out loud to herself, much less to anyone else, and that's, when we talk about the throat chakra, I'm like, it's always about you speaking truth to yourself first. Like you have to be honest with yourself before you can be honest with anyone else. And sometimes you don't even know how you're really feeling until you hear yourself say it out loud to
Yeah.
someone else. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh God, like that actually I really am
Feel.
in a good
Yeah.
situation, or maybe
Mhm.
actually it's not as bad or big as I created it
Or
in
that.
my inner knowing or thinking, or yeah. So yeah, I'm 100% convinced of it as well. Like
Yeah.
women will healed women
Yeah.
coming together in their vulnerability and authenticity
Mhm.
is the way.
Yep. I totally agree. We had a very similar experience. A woman on the retreat shared something. She was like, I've literally never shared this with anyone. I've never spoken this out loud. And it's like, we could hold that. We could
Yeah.
be in that space for her, you know? It's so important to find these people that you can be around and to you don't have to travel to Sedona. You don't have to go to, like it can happen
Yeah.
right where you're at, as long as it's
And
soul.
then also, like, what an honor it is for someone to feel safe enough with you to
Yep.
share that part, so it's such a
Mhm.
reciprocal experience. It's like that person feels so held, and then you just feel so honored that you get to hold it and
Hold
witness
it.
this woman in her release and in her truth, and
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, thank you. Like, I love you even more now because I know more of you. There's more of you to love now. So it's like the more we can show of ourselves, the more you just fall in love with people. And I've witnessed that, like having this podcast and sharing my story and my journey and my experiences so vulnerably. I have so much love in my life, but it's because I'm like sharing myself to be loved. Like if I was keeping everything a secret, then nobody would know that they could love me, you know? So it's just like it's
Absolutely.
so like powerful to realize that like we're so lovable. So let yourself be loved.
Yeah, and when you share those things, the other person sees themselves in you. Like that's what it is. It's like you may not have gone through the same exact thing or whatever, but it's about like identifying on this like beautiful human but also soul divine level of like we're mirrors for each other. Like You know, we maybe not have voiced it, but it's like we witness that in one another, right? We see
Yeah.
ourselves in somebody else. And that's really powerful too.
Yeah. It's really it's a gift is what
Yeah,
it is. And I'm grateful for you just being such a shining example of, what a relationship can look like and feel like, and just so many of you listening. I'm just so grateful for the love that we get to have for each other. I mean, I never knew I could have such intimate relationships with women. And it
me
is
either.
just
Yeah.
the most
Magical
beautiful,
thing.
surprising thing of my adult life, of my healing journey, of my soul awakening and becoming journey has been these female relationships that to experience the depth of this level of love has been honestly the greatest gift.
Me too. I I think but I don't know, just we could talk about this forever, but I just feel like this is so ingrained in like our history. You know what I mean? Like women have been in competition since the beginning of time for resources, for men, for safety. And I just feel like we are really coming into a different place now where it's like we can connect. That's what the divine feminine rising is like us reclaiming this and having these connections and changing the world and healing things. That's like where we're going, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so powerful. So thank you for creating this space and for holding this and letting us get to like do this every month. This is so fun. I'm grateful to you,
It,
Vaughn, for holding
it,
this. And I'm grateful to everyone for listening, like it's amazing. So
yeah. So thank you. Well, that was a big love fest that we just had there
was.
for female relationships and all that good stuff. But so I wonder what the cards will reveal.
Me too. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Um, so shall we get into it and see
Yes.
what comes up? Okay. Well, as you guys know, I have shuffled these really, really well already before we hopped on the call. And so let's just kind of take a moment to center ourselves. So, as long as you're not driving, I invite you to close down your eyes with us. If you are driving, just go ahead and follow along. Placing your feet on the ground if you can, or feeling your root chakra, really rooting down into wherever you're sitting and taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Casting a golden light of protection around us throughout all time and space, protecting and keeping us and holding us. Asking that any lower level energies, including thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or spirits, would be outside of this golden light of protection at this time. And we call in now our way showers, our guides, our angels, loved ones who have passed, and benevolent ancestors, ascended masters and archangels, any beings who are of the highest vibration only and with our purest of intentions are welcomed into this space. I also ignite now the power of holy fire Karuna Reiki to be infused throughout this entire episode so that this is not just a receiving of messages or information, but this is truly a healing that penetrates all the way through your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, all the way down into your DNA, creating shifts and making changes, allowing this gentle, holy fire to burn and release any resistance or fear or hesitation that might be coming up within you. And in those spaces where that has been burned and released, I ask that the light of the highest heavens would come in, making you feel whole and complete and ready to move forward after this episode finishes. We set the intention now to understand and to hear and to receive the information that we need to know about the month of June 2025. We come earnestly seeking, not so that we can control or change or shift anything that is out of the realm of possibility, but so we can flow with what exists, so that we can accept what is, so that we can work on what is right in front of us, so that we can move into a higher timeline and open up to more of what is available to us when we align with our higher selves and when we honor our humanity. We offer up our deepest gratitude to those beings who are gathered here today in our honor. And so it is.
Mm. Ooh, girl. The heavens are now open.
They are open. Oh, of course. Ooh, I love this combo of things. Love this combo of cards. So the first one that's coming up, the very first one, I was like, oh, of course, as soon as I saw it, is the card that we're working on in my membership this month, actually. So this is just like a doubling down of this energy. This is making it very clear to me that this is more than just what the girls in my membership and I are working on. This is like collective energy that exists too. This is my Weeping Willow card. This is a card that is actually the final card in the south section of my deck. So my deck is divided into two or four sections honoring the four directions. And the south is shadow work. And so this is the final card in my shadow work series. And this card asks us to look at our ancestry and our past lives. I should say other lives because past, gives the idea that time is linear and it's not. But this is the idea that we are always connected to the greater fabric of humanity, that we've had many lives before. And so we are actually our own ancestors as well. Like our ancestors are not just like these nebulous people of like, I don't know who they are. It's you, it's me, it's the people we're living with right now because we've had so many other lifetimes, right? And this card is about the idea that when we shift and change and break cycles, we're doing it for, well, we're doing it on just so many different levels, right? Like we're doing it for ourselves right now so that we can shift timelines. We're doing it for those who came before us. We're doing it for those who come after us to make a better world. Like this is really, really powerful work. And the thing that I want to remind everyone too is like, I think a lot of times when we think about other lifetimes or ancestors, we think of like the pain that we brought in. It's like, oh, what are the hard lessons that I brought in from this last lifetime that I have to work on this lifetime? Or, what am I doing for my great grandmothers and how am I breaking those cycles? And it feels sometimes really heavy. It's like, oh, well, people were silenced or we couldn't speak or this, that, and the other thing. But we also brought in their power and their wisdom, right? Like, think of all the people it took for you to have this lifetime. It's like you had to have so many different ancestors. It's almost like not almost, it's a true miracle that you are here and alive. And you didn't get here without resiliency, without power, without dedication, without devotion, without so many things. And so, yes, we bring in things that we have to break and we have to shift and we have to change, but there's also so much power and resiliency and beauty that we inherit as well from our other lifetimes and from those who came before us. So, this is a card that is honoring the past, honoring the present, and honoring the future, and really like sitting in that. And when I think of these themes, I honestly normally think of Scorpio season because Scorpio governs ancestors and past lives and those sorts of things. And Scorpio season is in the fall, it's in October and November. But this is coming up right now for some reason. This feels very, very relevant right now to dive into this. And so I really, really, really recommend to you um, pull out if you have any pictures of your ancestors, even just grandparents, if you don't have anything that goes further back than that. If you have no pictures, that's fine. Look into, your ancestry and put some things out somewhere special that like honors your lineage, your history. Um, Past lives also, you could just have a past life somewhere and know that because you feel connected to a place. You don't have to go into a regression to see the past life to know that it happened or that it existed, right? So if you just feel really connected to a certain time period in history or a certain place in the world and you've never visited there, you have no reason to whatever, you just feel connected to it. put some things out, like create a little altar to your ancestors, to your past lives, and just see how that shifts some things for you and brings some things into your awareness.
Yeah.
It's just really important that we do this and we go back in time.
Yeah, that's so
Mhm.
beautiful. It's a beautiful card, of course. Is it like a bubble around it, or like what's the iridescent, or like the?
So we put a moon in the background. So
Oh,
right
okay,
behind your
I can
leafy willow
see.
is a
Yeah.
moon. And then this is like an aura. This is like energy aura that like moves out from the moon.
It's so beautiful.
Isn't
I
that
don't think I've ever
cool?
noticed that part of it before. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Um, I just got back from Tulum, Mexico, which is in like the Mayan Riviera area where I was and where I was staying was more considered Maya Riviera.
Yeah.
And I have been very called to that area over the past couple years. And while I was there over the weekend, we had like a shamanic concert, sound bath kind of thing in this it's a private cenote cave, and it was absolutely incredible. And as I was there, like my heart felt like it was weaving out of my chest and just like connecting with there were probably like seven shaman musicians that were there, and I felt my energy like connect with them, and I just felt so elevated and expanded and at home, and just like my soul and my heart just felt like the happiest I think I have felt. Like it was definitely the coolest experience of my entire life. Like it was incredible.
Wow.
And the next day I was still like kind of reeling from it, like kind of curious, like why it impacted
Mhm.
me so deep. I mean, because I was like
In
still,
it.
you can hear it in my voice. Like I'm like changed from it. It was incredible. And I was remembering that, and I can't remember where the information came from, but oh, I think it was from I had that incredible session with I can't remember her name. You know her too, and she does those
Courtney? No.
Courtney, yeah,
Courtney
Courtney
Beck.
Beck,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I had her on my podcast like a year and a half
Oh,
ago or
yeah.
so. But I had this session with her. It was incredible, and in that session, I remember now her saying, "You were a Mayan princess, like not princess, but priestess, and like this is like your ancient wisdom. Like this is who you are." And I kind of, I was like, okay, that's cool. But like when I was there on that land, like in the Yucatan and connected to the energies and to those shamans that are also from that same land, I was like, oh my God, like it just all came back to me. And I felt that energy, and I felt that version of myself and the ancestors, and oh, I just felt And so I really love that card because I know that that was a part of myself that had kind of been forgotten until I was there, and that ignited me so deeply. And it ignited me through not only being on the land, but the music and the sounds and the frequencies of what was the exchange. It was just so incredible. So
I love that.
I totally resonate with that card.
Confirmation, such confirmation too, right?
Yeah,
And to go even
yeah.
deeper and to play with it. Oh my gosh, I love that, Vaughn. That is incredible. And that's what this is. It's like everyone is like, oh, I have to do a past life regression to figure out my past lives. And that is one way, but that's not the only way. Like you just have to trust your knowing of like, I feel something here. I know I feel connected to this, and I maybe don't know why, or I can't figure it out. I mean, you had someone tell you and then you felt it, but like there's a
And
million
again,
ways.
on that, like those are the breadcrumbs, right? Like this
Yes.
was almost 2 years ago that breadcrumb was placed there. And then also 2 years ago is when I even found this sound healing sanctuary that I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, like I have to go there one day. I remember the moment Jill and I found it together, and I was like, I have to go there. And then this past weekend, when I had the invitation to go there, I was just telling you before record, like I felt a lot of guilt about going because I had just gotten back from Egypt and here I had this invitation to go and not even fully knowing exactly what I was going for or into,
Sure.
but it was
Right.
an invitation. And as challenging as that invitation was, because it was time away from my family, it was going to be another just uber expensive plane ride and experience, you know. But it's like I told my family, it was so, the invitation alone was so healing for me because
Yeah.
I knew my soul had to be there and I didn't know why, but I just told my family, I was like, I am trusting myself on this one. And they never make me feel guilty. It was my own layers of guilt. But it just, the invitation alone, it was amazing how healing that was, for me to say yes. And then for it to be so transformational for me, I was like, I literally had to be there.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Just that you took the invitation itself and you knew that there was something deeper here for you and you followed it, you know?
Even
Yeah.
though it was super, like I could have just as easily been like, no, there's
Right.
no way I can't go again and
Mhm.
spend money again. But I was like, and this is the new me, right? Like I honor me. I
And that's
honor
really
that
cool.
soul guidance.
Yeah.
And this is where we're all going. If we can all just keep honoring, 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 then we'll be exactly where we need to be.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And I want to say something too about past lives that people just like something that irks me, like you just mentioned you were a priestess in that lifetime, and I have shared before on this podcast and on my own when I had it, that I lived a lifetime where I was like a close follower of Jesus. And a lot of times people are like, oh, okay, you were, this or you were that or you blah 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 blah. And what I want to say is like I really believe that all of us have had like thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of lifetimes, okay? Maybe not all of us. I think there's, souls are different, whatever, but we've also lived on other planets. Um, and so if you just like literally do the math of like, I had that many lifetimes, of course, some of them you're going to be a priestess or you're going to be a princess or you're going to have a relationship with someone who is famous or you would have been famous yourself. Like everyone's like, oh, you were Cleopatra, or I don't know. Like it just
Right.
like yes, it could be possible, but I also believe that we are a collective, right? And so sometimes you go into a past life, you tap into something, and maybe it actually literally wasn't you, but you need to see and experience or know about that lifetime because it helps you with this one. So maybe I wasn't a follower of Jesus. Maybe I literally wasn't that actual man. Maybe I was, but does it matter? Because like
Right.
the knowledge of that is what healed me more than
Right.
knowing I was like a follower of Jesus. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's ego,
Yeah,
that's human.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah. But
so
at
I
the same
just want to say
time,
that.
we know that you were and you were there because we've had too many like experiences of
Yes,
that lifetime of you and where I've witnessed it as well. So
I believe it
I
too.
hear what you're saying, but and yeah, you were totally there.
I think so too, but I just think it's important to like keep an open mind too
Yeah.
about these things and not to like shut other people down for what they experience or not
Yeah.
to shut yourself down
I
for
was
what
going to say, you shut
you
yourself down. And it's
it's
like,
both, you know?
yeah, like when we were in Egypt, there were so many women that resonated with being a priestess,
Mhm.
in Egypt, like being a teacher and a leader of, while we're in these temples, that's what especially in the Isis temple, like it was a school, it was a mystery school.
Yeah.
And so all these schools that we were going into, certain women had certain, myself included, like just different, like I've definitely been here before, whether I was a student or a teacher or both,
Mhm.
and like you get to be that. You get to have that experience and not question it and not have it questioned by anyone else. Like it's all about your own discernment, like what feels true in your body, let that be true.
Yes. Let it be true. Take the lessons and the beauty and the magic and whatever from it, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the important piece here is is discovering some of this. So like if this stuff comes up in June, like let it happen, flow with it, take it, don't judge it, like write it down and like Vaughn said, follow those breadcrumbs because they're leading you to something even more,
Always,
you know, always.
always take the nuggets that feel true that were placed in front of you, and just you don't have to do anything with it in that moment,
Hmm.
but and especially now with that card, think back to the breadcrumbs that have been placed in front of you that have gotten you to this moment right here, right now, perhaps to do some really deep work and recognition with.
Yeah, maybe it's time to pick up some of the breadcrumbs that you forgot about, right? And like
Yeah,
come back to
right. Yeah, yeah,
be like, oh
exactly.
yeah, that, that's
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Well,
beautiful.
before we move on from this card, I want to say too, if this is like really calling you, this is the entire theme in June that we're working with in my membership. I mean, it's $44. You can pop in for just this month if you want. We were doing multiple regressions. We have a tapping video. I do messages, like a card reading for everybody. We look at your chart. We're going to be doing rituals. We have calls. Like the value you get for $44 is insane. So if you
It
feel
is such
called
an
to this
act of
theme,
community. It
it
really
is an active
is. Yeah.
community. Yeah, come join us. You don't have to stay. You can cancel the membership at the end of June, but I have a feeling you're probably going to want to keep going. But this is like, if you really feel called to this Weeping Willow card, this is all we're going to be working on for the whole month of June. So we can offer you support and even more guidance to go deeper into those themes and those things. So I just want to share that too. Um, the second card is so fun. This is one I have not actually I haven't seen these last two cards in a while. So I'm like kind of happy. I'm like they feel like old friends. I'm like, "Oh, hey guys, like I forgot about
Good
you.
for you.
I forgot about you guys." We have the Reflection Lake card, and this is one that I want to read to you actually. I want to read you my card.
I knew something was going to come about with reflection because of our conversation
Did
leading up,
you?
to this. Yeah. So I knew there would be like mirror reflection, something
You
coming up.
felt it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on. I have to find my words. This is one of my earlier cards. This is card number 10. And I don't know, I really love the description of this one. So that's why I want you to hear the words.
I love it when you read it.
Yay. So the keywords for this card are unconditional love, divinity, and heaven on earth. Stretching out ahead is a crystal clear lake, smooth as glass. In the water, your reflection shines and shimmers. This lake doesn't just show your face, it casts back all to you that you are, including your human self and your eternal soul. The Reflection Lake card reminds you of your soul's origin. The Judeo Christian Bible says in Genesis that humans are made in God's image. In the emerald tablets, presumed to be written in Atlantis and taken to Egypt by the god Thoth, an inscription reads, "As above, so it is below. As in heaven, so on earth." These messages, left throughout time and space, serve to awaken a sacred truth within you. Each living being contains a reflection of the divine, and you are no exception. It's time to accept that you are a mirror image of a higher power who loves you unconditionally. No matter what mistakes you have made, you are always forgiven and valued. Offer yourself the eternal love that you receive from the divine. If you're able, spend time near water. Visiting a lake, an ocean, or even a tiny stream will connect you to the power of Reflection Lake. As you sit next to the water, take a deep breath and look around. Admire the beauty of nature and remember that the same being who made all of existence also created you. And the reminder is that heaven exists here on earth through you.
Mhm.
You're literally a piece of
Wow.
heaven on this earth.
And just quick reminder, you wrote that.
I did. I channeled it. Yeah.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Thank you. I love
Wow.
this card. I love that message. That's why I wanted to read it. It's one of my favorite. inscriptions because it's so powerful and it's so important. And, I feel like Vaughn and I encourage that in every single episode is like seeing your divinity. Like that's something we are always talking about. But this just feels really important, especially coming on the heels of like connecting with your ancestors and connecting with other lives. It's like you're part of this huge freaking fabric of we don't even know what, like we don't even know all of the majesty of all of this, but you're a part of it. You're a piece of it. And it wouldn't be what it is without each of us, right? Like we all add to that collective. And so it's just important to remember.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, speaking of heaven on earth, I really feel like that is what I am experiencing right now. And it is through me, right?
Hmm.
Like it's
Yeah.
only through me that I can experience heaven on earth. I told Dan the other day, I was like, I feel like I'm just constantly like on ecstasy or something because everything looks so bright and so beautiful. And I love
Beautiful.
everything and I love everybody. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like there is nothing but like, I personally, I loved me some ecstasy back in the day. That was my favorite little drug of choice back in my 20s. And now it's in DMA, right? And I'm always like, that can be in DMA.
Yeah.
And it is a heart expanding drug. And it really just that's all you do and feel is love, 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 love. And so I was like, I just feel like I'm on a constant like ecstasy roll because everything is, I don't know, it's just crazy where I am right now, like what is on the other side of the shit show of 2023 and 2024. And I'm just like, it was all for this feeling right here of heaven on, like creating heaven on earth. Like I am doing it. I am living it and I am witnessing it. And it's so exciting.
That is so exciting. I love that.
I know it's so fun. So I love that card. I love that card. And it is available to us. And, like I always say, like, let me be an example of what it can look like and feel like and what's available to us because I certainly didn't know I could feel this way. And I'm
Mm.
certainly by no means saying I'm going to feel this way for the rest of my life.
Right.
But right now, I am riding this high because it feels so good. And I know that there will be heartache and there will be grief and loss and pain in my future. I know that so clearly.
Hmm.
And at the same time, I am allowing myself to be in this vibration now, and I will carry it with me until I'm not. And then
Hmm.
I'll know that this is always something I can come back to. Like when I have a even deeper spiritual away, like I'm gonna burn down to the ground again and then rise like the phoenix again. But next time I'm gonna rise even higher than I am right now, which is
Hmm.
beyond my comprehension. But again, like we're not here to comprehend our magic and what is available to us. We are here to surrender into the unknown. And that surrender piece, like me, and I know I talked about this, after the last retreat that I hosted and my final piece of surrender in that particular challenging year of 2024 that taught me how to surrender. That was and ever since then, I'm like, I am floating on surrender. And the
Hmm.
more we can, but the surrender takes letting go.
Yeah, it's
So
really
the
not
more that we
natural.
let go, the more we're surrendering, but we can't let go until we let go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hard thing because I think we've just been conditioned to hang on and to stay where we're at and to stay stuck. But I think like remembering what is possible, right? Like that you could have this if you let go.
Yeah,
Like that's the
right.
gift of the letting go. The letting go is so scary, but we don't even realize the magic that's on the other side of the letting go.
Right. And apparently it's a big, love fest over here. So so keep letting go, let's keep hanging out, let's keep rising together, let's keep burning together, rising together. Like this
Yep.
is the way.
Yep. And you just got to remember that you are truly a piece of the divine and that we are created. I mean, we are literally created in the image of the creator, and whatever that means. It doesn't have to be literal that, the creator is a human. It's just our hearts, our souls, our love, our beauty, all of that is all divine, and we all have that within us. And so there needs to be a remembering of that this month, of that beauty that gets to exist through us, and that we are a piece of that, that we are literally stardust here on earth, right? Like a piece of heaven on earth. That's us.
Okay.
It's not the external, it's us.
Right. Yeah. And it is only through
Yeah.
you
Only
that
through
you
you.
get only. Like,
Yep.
I'm not going to find my happiness and my heaven on
No.
earth through my husband, through my children, through you, through anybody listening. It's only through me.
100%. 100%. And there's personal responsibility in that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you got to know who me is. You got to be able to go in there and be like, so who is this divine aspect of this what that they speak of, like who is this holy person that exists within myself?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got the only way to get to know that version of you is to go within. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm so obsessed with the holy breath method. And like, I mean, that is a portal that takes you within yourself and you get to know yourself and then you get to know everything around you. And yeah, it's so awesome.
Yeah, it is all within us, and we have to claim it for ourselves. I love that. It's amazing.
Beautiful cards. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then our third card is my Polaris card, and I have not seen this one in a very
Mhm.
long time. This one is a little more somber than the other ones. This one's a little bit more, I mean, it's still really beautiful, but it's a little bit more pulling us back down to earth here. So, for those who don't know, the Polaris star is actually our North Star. That's the name of the North Star is Polaris. So, I'm going to read this one to you guys too. So, the keywords with this card are consistency, self-reliance, and structure. The North Star, also known as Polaris, gleams brightly through the inky black night sky as it hovers above the Earth's rotational axis. Because this star is situated above the north pole of our planet, it appears to hang unmoving in the heavens. It has been used since the beginning of time in the northern hemisphere to guide wayfinders and travelers in their journeys. Although it's not considered to be the brightest star in the sky, it is the most consistent as it does not appear to move. It can be found at any time of year, during any hour of the night, as long as the sky is mostly cloudless. Polaris is asking you to lean into consistency and steadfastness. It is important at this point in your journey to stay focused, confident, and stable. There may be situations emerging right now threatening to rock your boat and stir up challenges for you. Stay steady, as Polaris does. It's not a time to follow every whim that comes to you or allow yourself to be pulled by the tides. What is required of you now is structure, a plan, and discipline. You must provide yourself with the solid foundation that you seek. It is time to trust that you can be consistent. You are capable of taking devoted action, which requires you to show up every day for yourself. You have the ability to overcome any hurdles in your path at this time by staying focused. You are your own true north. When the rest of the world disappoints you, you always have yourself to rely on. And the reminder is you are your own true north.
Mm. Okay, I hear you.
I know this isn't
Wow.
an easy one,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's a beautiful one, right?
It's
Like,
it's so needed because as you were reading the words, I could see myself flying so high, getting so caught up in all of the magic and all of the like, and then it's like, and Vaughn, get your ass back down here. Because every word you said is like my North Star, is my thing that is my goal in this lifetime
Mhm.
is to allow myself to be in flow, in structured flow, right? Like also have the discipline And devotion is the word that I heard. Did you say the word devotion or okay? Because
Several times. Yeah.
I could see that because it is so easy for me to live up in those in the high clouds, in the floaty fairy way of being things. And that's a beautiful thing. But to be able to anchor that version of myself here, like I'm in my studio space right now, and to pull that down into this earthly body, into this space, into this ground, and root into my devotion of why I get to feel that way. Like bringing it back down to reality of like, and that really is like that priestess energy,
Hmm.
right? Like of the embodiment of this of the structure of the devotion and the discipline of
Yep.
embodying the goddess frequency, the higher energies, and bringing and allowing it to be in the body.
Hmm.
So this to me is all about embodiment, is all about like walking the walk, talking the talk, and
Hmm.
being everything that we know and doing it through discipline and devotion.
It is absolutely that. It is absolutely that. And I think part of this that I want to add on to like what I said, what I wrote in the guidebook is that devotion doesn't have to be this patriarchal thing that we think it is. Like, it doesn't have to be the exact same thing every single day. It doesn't have to be following a workout routine or schedule. It's still about honoring the flow, but having some structure around it, right? So saying, okay, maybe your thing is, I want to exercise every day, but every day you wake up and you say, what exercise would feel good to my body today?
Yeah.
Right? Is it like a really hard workout or is it just like stretching? Or it's like, okay, every single day I'm going to come down into my sacred space and be with the divine. Maybe I meditate some days. Maybe other days I journal. Maybe I pull cards, like allowing the structure to be there of like, I'm going to be consistent and devoted to myself. But how that is what I allow to flow and to be with whatever exists right now, right? Like we can have both. It doesn't have to be
Right.
one or the other, right? It's about like marrying the two. And I think sometimes we think like, oh, I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to meditate for 30 minutes every day for this month. And you're really hard on yourself. And then you feel like a failure. But if you
Yeah.
opened that goal up a little bit and said, I'm going to be with myself for 30 minutes, however that looks today, right? Like that's more flowy and more allowing, but it's still devoted.
Yeah.
So there's ways to
Exactly.
do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that is so beautiful. And like when I was as you were reading those words and I was imagining myself coming into this space, I was on all fours and I was moving my body and I was just
Mhm.
like finding a deep roar, like vibration within my body that wanted to move through me. Like I could already feel like that grounded energy that is actually really calling my name right now, to maybe even sink deeper into that Mayan priestess version of myself, that is very rooted in ceremony and sacred ways of being, and working more with I don't know, like it feels like herbs and just like things that are just more grounding for me, right? And so I love, wow, this I don't know about everybody listening, but I feel like this bread was straight up for me.
Me too, honestly. I feel like I needed to hear all of this.
Yeah, that was awesome. Wow.
Mhm. I
So
love
good.
this combination of cards. I love these three together. This, like, honoring of the past and of the cycles we're here to break and the things we're here to do in this lifetime and who we have been and those who came before us and those who are coming after us. Like the fabric of like this bigger picture is like really coming through in these cards of like it's so much bigger than just you. It's so much bigger than just this moment. Like, and remembering like you are just this piece of heaven that is here on earth and to create this beauty, but that beauty does need to be created with some structure, some
Mhm.
foundation, right?
Yeah.
And devotion. Like I feel like, yeah, devotion is just that word just feels so much
Yeah.
better than like so many other words we could think of that kind of have like devotion is like heart centered and like I'm doing this because I know that this is like in authenticity and in flow with me, but it does have that structure around it. Like it does require showing up consistently over and over and over and over, right?
Yeah, which is the
Yeah.
dedication. It's not
That is-
necessarily motivation, it's dedication.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
yeah, I've
hard
really been
devotion.
toying with those words, like, because I'm not motivated to work out right now, but I want and need the discipline to work out, like
Mhm.
because I used to always work out, and I'm just in a phase where it's like, no, but then I'm like, but I don't like how my body isn't strong. Like I don't feel, physically strong in my body.
Mhm.
My balance has gotten off balance, like I trip up a lot more, and
Mhm.
so I'm seeing all these things that are happening, and it's like all these things are happening to show you that you need to have discipline in your life to age with strength, and that takes discipline.
It does. It does. And yet it doesn't take force of doing something that doesn't feel good. Like, I brought up that exercise routine thing because I think people will be like, oh, I'm doing this 30-day plan and today's leg day, so I have to do leg day. But your body doesn't want to do that. Your body wants to flow with yoga. And it's like, I do think it's really important to listen to that body, but to still have that, like, I'm doing something for my body today, right? Like,
Right.
it's just, I don't know. There's like a flow that I think that we have to listen to the body more than our patriarchal society has told us to. It's like, this is
Absolutely.
your workout plan to lose 30 pounds and whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe that doesn't feel good to my body though, you know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because my
But you
body
can
is
push
asking me
yourself.
to
Yeah.
move more, to lift weights, to get strong again, and so I've been ignoring it, but my body is talking to me,
Yeah.
right? But the airy fairy part of me is like, but I'd rather go do. So it's
Hmm.
like but that's the journey of this life, is creating that balance and navigating through that, and like that's my soul journey. I don't know, it's everybody's soul journey, like, is to be able to find the beautiful
Balance.
balance, because I do believe it gets to be easy. I really do believe I could work out and still be airy fairy, like that's just an example, but like, right, like we get to be it all, but it
Hmm.
does take that discipline and devotion if I want to age and grow gracefully the way that I know that I do.
Hmm. I totally agree. Couldn't agree more. And that's what this is about, is really putting in that devotion and that dedication to yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So some hard messages, but mostly beautiful messages and just like a nice balance this month in June, which I love. I love so much. I think these are just really, really incredible combo of messages. I love this.
Yeah, I totally do too. Thank you so much. This was so fun, and I've missed you. I missed you in May.
Ooh,
So
me
thank you again
too.
for holding down the fort. And I'm glad that we're back, and I'm excited to see how this conversation resonates with everyone listening, and to connect back again for July and see what unfolded for us all. And we have a Facebook group, Cosmic Healing Facebook group, where I love it when people pop in there and share about what's going on, what they're navigating through. So use that space to share about the month behind you, the month ahead, like what you experienced in May, what you're excited about for June, what's coming up for you. Like we're talking about it here, but we want to hear from you too. So feel free to go in there, and it's a community, and obviously that's what we're obsessed with per our conversation in the beginning.
Mhm.
So let's do this.